Welcome to another edition of the Willie Bragg Show. I'm your host, Willie Bragg, and normally I talk about online left drama. Young Turks, Jimmy Dore, what Nomiki Khan said about Kyle Kalinske, and what Brianna Joy Gray had to say about Bosch. That whole 9 yards. Well, we're going to kind of just shuffle it around today, and we're going to go to I know it's not Halloween yet, but we'll go to the dark side. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, but before I do, we'll go and say hello to everyone here on the chat line. And Miguel, how the hell are you? Warren, how the hell are you? Let's see. We got here. Who else do we have? Earl or Laurel, how the hell are you? How's everything down in Wilmington? So looks like that's all we have right now for the moment. Hopefully we'll have some more dropping in. It's been kind of difficult to try to do a streaming schedule. I'm trying to do it, and sometimes since trying to do it, it's been kind of hard to do it, but I'm trying to get to something that's going to be consistent. So was supposed to have yesterday Shane. It was my fault this time. I got home very, very, very late from work on Thursday morning, and I was with very, very, very little sleep. And I was just like, let's do this another day. So we're definitely going to be having Shane back on Monday. So there is that. And so anyway, I hope every one of y'all are doing well. And as I said, we're going with some scary stuff today. Scarier than how I look. Ooh, spooky, spooky, spooky. Yeah. It's not even Halloween yet. So, and we're talking about crazy people in politics. And I mean, if you're going to be into politics, regardless of your ideology, you got to be a little bit nuts to begin with. Lord knows I'm nuts. So think about it is that, again, as you know, I'm going to say the obvious, we have a presidential election. Now, I'm going to tell you like it is. The other night when I saw the debate, honestly, when it came to that debate, and I am not part of the duopoly, not one bit, but Donald Trump got his ass trounced, in my view, by Kamala Harris. Not because Kamala Harris is a great candidate, and neither is Trump for that matter. What did it against Trump is he was supposed to be getting prepped by Tulsi Gabbard. I mean, and y'all know where I stand on Tulsi Gabbard. I feel a great sense of resentment and betrayal by Tulsi Gabbard. That's not to be understated. But I can understand Trump seeking Tulsi's help in the debate, because after all, Tulsi, when she was one of us, kind of, she did destroy the Kamala Harris campaign in 2019 when in the primaries. She was one of the earliest candidates to get wiped out. And my conspiracy theory was that she was working with Bernie, where Bernie takes the high road, and she'll go and take them out one by one. And so she took out Tim Ryan. She took out, people like Tim Ryan, Kamala Harris. She was about ready to take out Pete Buttigieg. And this was before Obama made his little phone call and convinced all the candidates, the big tier candidates, to drop out, where it will be just Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders really facing each other. Elizabeth Warren stay long enough in the primaries in Massachusetts, just enough to fuck Bernie over, and the rest is history. Bernie ended up endorsing Biden. Very disappointed there. He needed to go third party. And Tulsi, I'm more disappointed with, because instead of endorsing Bernie when she dropped out, she went and endorsed Biden, and now she's sucking Donald Trump's cock. So, which I'm saying that figuratively, but if that was really happening. I guess one would then be Donald Trump at that moment, with Tulsi Gabbard, sucking his cock. Anyway, all right, okay. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying here. Oh, and hey, how are you doing, Ed Heller? Um, Getting back to what I was saying about this whole election. Instead of going to Tulsi Gabbard, I guess he did get some prep points from Tulsi Gabbard, but apparently, he's been getting prep talks and talking points from somebody that's a really terrible excuse of a human being, and I'm talking about Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer, a far right conspiracy nut. She lives down in Florida, a far right conspiracy nut, and this is where you heard Donald Trump sound like a crazy man. I don't mean like he's like weirder than usual. You can be weird. And I'm not talking about the Democratic Party slamming on Republicans for being weird. I'm talking about you can be weird and eccentric and have your own brand. It doesn't have to be anything entirely negative. But then there's a demented, dark side, evil side of weird. And he embraced that through Laura Loomer. And here is the thing. When you think that Marjorie Taylor Greene is just absolutely nuts and bonkers and crazy and all that, Laura Loomer comes along and say, "Hey, hold my beer." And that's what it came down to. Hold my beer. And that's exactly what happened. She actually managed. You know where I stand on Marjorie Taylor Greene. You know damn well where I stand on Marjorie Taylor Greene. I totally despise her. I can't stand her. I think she's one of the worst people around. But there are people worse. People who are worse than Marjorie Taylor Greene. And Laura Loomer managed to be there. Now, they're both bigots and they're both conspiracy nuts. I mean, and share a lot of the same kind of conspiracy theories and all of that. But here's the thing about Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer seemingly out-races Marjorie Taylor Greene. You thought of Marjorie Taylor Greene was a racist? I personally think she is. Apparently, you can have more hatred in your life than someone around like Marjorie Taylor Greene. And that's apparently what happened. So you heard the debate the other night where Donald Trump is talking about Donald Trump is talking about going off on his little crazy tangents, right? And so he's going off at his crazy tangents with regard to the debate, some of the conspiracy theories that we've been hearing about. And it just kind of reminded me, she give me just a quick moment. I'm going to find that clip real fast. It just occurred to me to put the clip until now because you need a little bit of entertainment in your life in that regard. And this is from Due Dissidence. I like to kind of brag, friends of the Willie Bragg Show. So they've been on the show. So, I brag, about that. So anyway, here is Keaton and Russell there. Let me go. Oh, I'm sorry. Twitter has a way of doing this. Little short clip of the debate. And I mean, Keaton and Russell's reaction, it's funny as shit. So, I watched it through Deep Fat Fry the other night, the debate, but I should have watched some of it through Due Dissidence. So anyway, but here's a clipping from Due Dissidence, their reaction. Their reaction kind of says it all.
Now she wants to do transgender operations on illegal aliens that are in prison. This is a radical left liberal that would do this. She wants to confiscate your guns, and she will never allow fracking in Pennsylvania.
Really folded a few issues into one there.
Will end on day one. Just to finish
points for efficiency on that.
In my opinion.
So
I got the oil business going like nobody has ever done before. When they took over,
they should make an attack
started getting rid of it, and the prices were going up the roof. They immediately let these guys go to where they were. But if she won the election, the day after that election, they'll go back to destroying our country, and oil will be dead. Fossil fuel will be dead. We'll go back to windmills, and we'll go back to solar, where they need a whole desert to get some energy to come out. You ever see a solar plant? By the way,
imagine the warden coming over with the keys. All right,
400,
Miguel,
500 acres.
It's time.
Hang on.
These are not good things for the environment that she understands.
Thank you.
Wow.
And I want to talk about
state-ordered
the peaceful
transgender
transfer of power, which, of course,
operation.
we all know is a cornerstone of our democracy, and the role of the president.
And then we're setting you up
in a
with an
moment of
apartment.
crisis.
We're going to set you up with the Roosevelt Hotel with
you
your
told
new
your supporters
pussy
to march to the Capitol. You said you would be right there with them.
on tax
The
paid
country
for
and the
with
world saw what
taxpayer
played out at the
dollars.
Capitol that day. The
They
officers
say
coming under attack.
it's even tighter
Aides
than
in
the
the
real
West Wing
thing.
say you
I
watched
wouldn't
it
know.
unfold on television off the Oval Office. But let me just ask
You might
They're
ask her that
transing the
question.
You were the
immigrants. They're
president.
taking
You were
jobs from
watching
our
it unfold on
prostitutes because their
television. It's a
pussies
very
are tighter
simple
because they're
question as
new.
we move forward
They're
toward another
fresh.
election.
Our
Is there
prostitutes say,
anything
I
you
can't get
regret
work
about
anymore.
what
I'm
you did
competing
on
against
that day?
these trans immigrants with
Yes or no?
I
tight
had
pussies.
nothing to do with that. Other
that are
than
only
they
a
asked me
week
to
old.
make a speech. I
It's
showed up
impossible
for
to
a
stay
speech. I
competitive.
said, I think it's
You know,
going to be big.
their
I
jobs
went to
matter
Nancy
too.
Pelosi
hang
and the
on.
mayor.
Yep, that was golden. I mean, their reaction, and you saw the look on Kamala Harris's face. I'm not a fan of Kamala Harris. I want to make that clear, but I mean, I understood why she was trying to contain herself. She was trying not to bust out laughing because that's classic Trump there. Okay, classic Trump, incoherent, crazy, and you know, just full of banter. The way he's full of banter, full of shit, actually. You know. And so anyway, the one thing I would say about Trump, he does provide entertainment. He's dangerous. And I don't mean dangerous in a cool, edgy way, but he's dangerous, but he does provide entertainment. You know, so there is that. Getting back to Laura Loomer, just a quick summation of what some of the stuff she believes. She's a 9/11 truther. She was the bitch that went and interrupted the Julius Caesar play in 2017, claiming that was advocating violence against Donald Trump, you know, this sort of thing. Let's see here. Loomer, she went and broke into Nancy Pelosi's estate in 2018. She blamed the Parkland shootings, the Santa Fe shootings, and the Las Vegas shootings on ISIS. Let's see. She's the one that let's see. She also earlier this year accused Casey DeSantis, the wife of Ron DeSantis, of basically giving over importance to her breast cancer, that sort of thing. In the past, she's been a birther, claiming that Obama was a secret Kenyan Muslim, that sort of bullshit, you know. And she was on the Tim Pool. She's been on the Tim Pool podcast, basically urging for Democrats to be quote unquote executed. Now, you know, this is the kind of person we're dealing with Laura Loomer, and so I went from starting off on a comedic note to actually going off into a serious note. She was the one that kind of gave them the talking points about dogs and cats and ducks and geese being eaten. What was it, in Springfield, Ohio, or something along those lines. This sort of conspiracy. And the reason I want to bring that up, it needs to be brought up because really no rational human being is going to think Haitians are sitting there in this country eating dogs and cats and all of that. You know, this is kind of, it's like the new birtherism. It's basically a new form of racism. And so, which lays segue into the kind of person that she is. So we'll go with a quick background. I will say in advance that let's just forgive me for playing the Young Turks, but this story is relevant from 2019 or 2019 as it was when with Laura Loomer going on InfoWars on Alex Jones. And if you watch the thing, when you see Laura Loomer going nuts, she actually makes Alex Jones look sane. So we're talking about when you make Marjorie Taylor Greene and you make Alex Jones look sane, you really have lost the plot. So here we go.
Was among the right wingers and conspiracy theorists that Facebook decided to ban recently. Now, we can have a discussion about whether or not that makes sense, but before we do it, I think it's important to show you what Loomer's reaction was to this ban when she was recently interviewed on Alex Jones's show. Let's take a look.
Well, they're just trying to kill us. You want to know what they're trying to do? They want us dead. And I hate to make it all about myself, but I have been defamed, okay? My life has been destroyed. My life has been ruined, Alex, by people who have defamed me online. I am 25 years old, and it will probably be like this for the rest of my life. But what are they doing? I want to know what people are actually going to do. My life is ruined. Does anybody understand how ruined my life is? I'm sick of it. I don't want to listen to people tell me that I'm a conspiracy theorist. They don't know what it's like to be me. My life is ruined, Alex.
No, I understand. I just think you need to go with it. But at least the president is concerned about it.
Okay, he's concerned about it, but that's not going to stop the fact that I've lost 90% of my income. That's not going to stop the fact that I literally can't make a living anymore, even though I have a degree. I was valedictorian in college. I graduated top of my class in my journalism program. And I'm sick of it. I'm fighting harder than most conservatives. I'm fighting harder than anybody. And I'm being destroyed. And they mock me and they say I'm some crazy conspiracy.
Well, that's what
these people don't understand. Like, my life is unlivable at this point in time. Like, what is the point? My life now, I have to worry about getting murdered by leftists and Muslims every single time I go outside.
It's disgusting. Oh, I know. They're so protected. It's so sick. It's so sick.
Oh my God.
Yeah. When you make Alex Jones, you can just tell Alex Jones is being softly dismissive of her, because he goes, okay, this bitch is more crazy than I am. I mean, you could just tell. And the thing is, I think Alex Jones is playing a part most of the time. I'm not endorsing his politics or his brand. I'm just saying I think he plays a role. I think the bitch is crazy. I think she's batshit crazy, and she's all about herself. She is all about herself, self-absorbed Karen that she is, and about people being mean to her. You know, the people she has terrorized over the past several years or what have you. Really, you know. And so basically, I think that we'll need to go into. Let's go into Marjorie Taylor Greene for a little bit, because I mean, you know, let's be fair. We need to go and kind of, I mean, we all know who these people are. Okay. Granted, we all know who these people are, but thing about it is that you need to make a comparison with these two. So here we go. This is Deep Fat Fried. They have a little discussion about Marjorie Taylor Greene. A few years ago.
The right-wing answer to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez came to the U.S. Congress last January in the form of Marjorie Taylor Greene, a puke-inducingly fugly she-beast with an IQ lower than room temperature in the Arctic.
We believe our hard-earned tax dollars should just go for America, not for what? China, Russia, the Middle East, Guam.
And 25 asylums worth of crazy packed into every atrophied neuron in the loathsome ball of shit she calls a head. Tonight, this metaphysically loathsome imbecile sent from hell to torture us all gets deep fat fried.
Deep fat fried.
A pathologically hideous she-beast? Is that what you call it?
Let's see. I said a puke-inducingly fugly she-beast.
It's even worse.
IQ lower than the room temperature in the Arctic.
Yeah,
Wow.
I said metaphysically loathsome imbecile.
Damn, tell us how you really feel about her, TJ.
I wanted it to be fair. I wanted to be fair with this episode. You know, I wanted to use neutral language, so there was no.
You did.
Even the vaguest insinuation of bias.
Well,
you know?
may I be the first one to say congratulations and mission accomplished.
Kudos to you, TJ. You really done it. You did it this time.
I know.
I'll be
right?
honest with you, due to my nature of like, I only pay attention to the news on Wednesdays when we're doing our news show. We haven't covered a whole lot of Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah, we really haven't.
So this is going to be a learning experience for me.
All right. Well, you know, you can judge for yourself. Maybe you can decide if my intro was warranted or not.
I think at the end of it, Paul's going to be singing a different tune to you.
Maybe
so. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a spoiled cunt who had everything in life handed to her. When she was 28 years old, her father sold his construction company to MTG and her uninspiring doughball husband, Perry Greene. So that's her biography. Let's move on.
No bias inherent in any of this, as I can see a very straight.
Rich fuck had everything. That's it.
She's a rich bitch. She's spoiled.
Sounds like a lot of conservatives, dude.
Yeah,
sounds like a lot of them. Just
no, they're born rich, and then their fucking daddies give them everything, and then they're like, "I'm a salt of the earth person." Like, you know, you see that a lot. You saw that Cawthorn dipshit.
I drive a pickup truck.
You see it with a lot of them.
I like guns. I like nature.
You know, I pulled myself up on my daddy's bootstraps, basically.
Yeah, good job.
Fucking stupid bitch. Anyway, here's an ad for how fucking dumb she is.
Yeah. Driving a Hummer.
I'm Marjorie Greene, and I approve this ad. America's the greatest country in the world. We need conservatives in Washington that will keep it that way. I'm running to stop gun control.
Destroy it.
Open borders.
Yeah. Take that, open
Green
borders.
New Deal.
Take that, Green New fucking Deal.
And socialism.
Oh, yeah. Boom.
Democrats fight for their socialist
Take
agenda
that
every
bullshit.
single day. I'll fight even harder to stop
Dude,
them.
they troll
I'm
so
Marjorie
hard
Greene,
with this
Republican
shit.
for Congress.
They're
America,
trolling
stop.
like the hypersensitive left with this shit so hard. They're like, she said she was taking aim at socialism and all these. It's
There's
like
one
she's
where
taking
she,
aim at AOC. Like,
There's one where she fucking.
And if y'all want to get a little chance, I'll go ahead and put the clippings, both clippings on the inside the description box when I get time. But that's kind of an introduction to Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I think that this audience is more familiar with her than they are with Laura Loomer. But you saw the thing about Laura Loomer, gave you a little bit of background information on her. And the thing about it is that she's very tight currently with Donald Trump, referring to Laura Loomer. It might actually do Donald Trump in when you think about it, because Donald Trump, kind of had an advantage until, the man got shot at and everything, and he was running against initially a melted brain vegetable like Joe Biden. So things kind of turn around for the Democrats, and some of them were feeling a great deal of despair. Some people still are, like AOC criticizing, Jill Stein. That's another issue, maybe for another time. So, but anyway, suffice to say, Farron Cousins will give you a little bit of a background information, and I'll share some words too. So, all right, let's go with what Farron Cousins have to say about this whole thing.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is super angry. In fact, she is green with envy right now over the fact that Donald Trump appears to have a new best friend. And that new best friend is a younger, more extreme version of Marjorie Taylor Greene than Marjorie Taylor Greene herself is.
Now, I want to stop for a second. If you know who Farron Cousins is, I think most people here in this audience know Farron Cousins. This guy hates Marjorie Taylor Greene more than I do. And that says a lot. And when he says there is somebody worse than Marjorie Taylor Greene, you better believe, as hard as it is to believe, somebody is worse than Marjorie Taylor Greene, and that would be Laura Loomer. That doesn't mean that Marjorie Taylor Greene is a good person. She's an asshole. She's a right-wing QAnon Karen. But somebody out crazy her, somebody out Karen her, somebody out bitched her, and that was Laura Loomer. So we'll let Farron Cusses continue.
And it is none other than right-wing weirdo Laura Loomer. And it all started this week when Donald Trump arrived for the debate. Getting off the plane, Laura Loomer, for some reason, was on the plane with Donald Trump going to the debate. Then on Wednesday at the 9/11 memorial, Laura Loomer was right there by his side. Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene can't have that, right? There's only room for one cat in this litter box, and it's Marjorie Taylor Greene. So a very jealous Marjorie Taylor Greene decided to jump on social media and attack, rightfully so, I may add. Like, Marjorie Taylor Greene is in the right. She's just doing it for the wrong reasons. But she attacked Laura Loomer for an exceptionally racist post that Loomer put on social media.
Yes, imagine that. Because we all know, and this is not hyperbole, we all know that, well, we know that Laura Loomer is a racist. We damn sure know that Marjorie Taylor Greene's a racist. But she's condemning Laura Loomer for being a racist. I want you to let that sink in for a second. Marjorie Taylor Greene, who hates every group you can imagine under the sun, is accusing Laura Loomer of being a vile racist. Just let that sink in for a second. Let it sink in, because I'm still having a headache trying to figure that, trying to, square the circle in the hole, So anyway.
And this is a very long back and forth exchange, but I'm going to read you the whole thing because it's just absolutely wonderful, start to finish. Here is the post that Loomer started with on social media. If Kamala Harris wins, the White House will smell like curry, and White House speeches will be facilitated via a call center, and the American people will only be able to convey their feedback through a customer satisfaction survey at the end of the call that nobody will understand. Okay, super racist. Like, no doubt about that at all. Laura Loomer is, of course, leaning into the fact that, hey, Harris is half Indian. So obviously, let's go with all of these Indian stereotypes. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, as I said, rightfully called her out for this racism, responding to that by saying, "This is appalling and extremely racist. It does not represent who we are as Republicans or MAGA. This does not represent President Trump. This type of behavior should not be tolerated ever. Laura Loomer should take this down." Great response. Like, for the first time ever, I'm giving full credit to Marjorie Taylor Greene. Great response. Should have stopped right there. But she didn't. She posted a follow-up post. And it's the follow-up post, by the way, that lets me know that this is not just about Laura Loomer saying something racist on Twitter. This is about Greene being jealous that she is being replaced by Laura Loomer. Because then, in a follow-up post to that post, Greene published this. Little bit of a history lesson for a few of you. Laura and I used to be friends going back to 2018. I used to defend her and support her, like in this post here. I endorsed her first run for Congress, donated to her and fundraised for her, and then she lost. Then, when she ran again against Daniel Webster, I told her to run in another district so she could win, but she refused. When I didn't endorse her, she turned on me and began attacking me and lying about me. I still advocated for her to get her former Twitter account back, now X account. Laura has lied so much about me and others like Matt Gaetz, even though we are President Trump's most loyal and fierce elected members of Congress. She breaks a few good stories here and there, but there are many others she embellishes or flat out lies. However, her attacks have no bearing on me, nor am I concerned with what she says. As a matter of fact, outside of the bubble of this platform, most regular people don't know who she is. But when it comes to posts that are flat out racist, hateful, and make President Trump look bad, she needs to be responsible and delete them. See what I mean? This is about Greene being jealous that Loomer is now Donald Trump's right-hand person.
In other words, right wing mean girls. Not trying to be sexist by saying that, but you know what I mean.
I mean, right here she says it. Laura has lied so much about me and others like Matt Gaetz, even though we are President Trump's most loyal and fierce elected members of Congress. Like, that's a low blow, but it's also a signal to Donald Trump that's like, hey, man, we're your people. She's not your people. Why are you hanging out with her? There's a reason Trump has been hanging out with her. Recently, in several videos, I have mentioned Laura Loomer just under the context of Loomer has been one of the most outspoken critics of how poorly Donald Trump has been running his campaign. You know, she has said, these people need to go. You need to do this instead of this. You need to not listen to these people. You need to take my advice. And Trump apparently is doing that. And to be honest, for Donald Trump, everything was going so badly for him. He needed to switch things up. He just switched things up in the opposite way that they needed to be switched up by going with Loomer. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is furious. Like, how dare he? I mean, I have put everything on the line for this man. How dare he find another even crazier person than I am? But it doesn't end there. Oh no, folks, this catfight continues. Because after Greene posted the long history, you know, basically how she's so jealous of Laura Loomer, Loomer got back on Twitter and posted this, like, it's a page long. It's a page long. This is how long Loomer's response was. Why is MTG working with Democrats to attack Trump allies 50 days out from the election? It's time for people to come to terms with the fact that this woman is not who she pretends to be. MTG is the most miserable lying bitch in Congress, and we need to inform more MAGA patriots of how treacherous this woman is.
You know what that is like in reverse? That is what Laura Loomer accused Marjorie Taylor Greene of. And I am not saying that Laura Loomer is Sam Cedar, and I'm not saying that Marjorie Taylor Greene is Jimmy Dore, but that's kind of what it's like. You know, it's kind of like that civil war between the online left and all. It's happening on the right, and just wanted to emphasize it. It's sort of like it does kind of mirror each other, you know. I mean, you know, it kind of mirrors each other somewhat. It would be like, and I'll use the other two people as counterparts. It goes without saying, David Pakman's counterpart on the right, online right, is Ben Shapiro, and I would say that Max Blumenthal's counterpart on the right would probably be Alex Jones. So it would be like if David Pakman and Max Blumenthal were sitting there making pot shots at each other, which I know they don't particularly care for each other, but it's kind of like that analogy, sort of, you know. And you can make a comparison with Laura Loomer and Marjorie Taylor Greene, like going back and forth with each other. I mean, to see the right just doing this for a change is kind of nice seeing this, because it makes, you know, if you're leftist, you're looking at that and you're thinking, well, I guess we're not the only one to do this sort of shit. So anyway.
Why did Marjorie Taylor Greene team up with MSNBC and the rest of the left-wing media to demonize the only journalist who is exposing the wrongdoings of Judge Merchan and his daughter? Have you noticed you never see Marjorie Taylor Greene speak out about the lawfare against President Trump anymore? Why did she take a month-long vacation right after Trump was shot? And why did she lie about releasing the January 6 tapes only to say we shouldn't for the sake of protecting the security of the Capitol? Why does Greene continue to support and work with Kevin McCarthy, who is openly working to sabotage Donald Trump? Why doesn't she ever speak out about Fonnie Willis and voter fraud in Georgia? We know why. Greene planted a hit piece against me when I was hired by Trump in March of 2023, only to have that sabotaged when Greene worked with New York Times Maggie Haberman to plan a hit piece against me, and now she's doing it again because she wants to sabotage Trump because she wasn't picked as his VP. I hope this fight never ends. This is so wonderful. And I love this so much that I might divorce my wife to marry this because I'm in love with it. I want this fight to go on for all of eternity. I love watching MAGA just turn against itself. No, I'm not actually leaving my wife. But here, let me. Why did she take a month-long vacation right after Trump was shot? Well, first of all, she didn't. Congress went on recess. But what was Greene going to do? Like, oh no, I have to cancel my vacation plans because the guy that I'm not even related to had to go to the emergency room for a couple hours and was released. Greene spoke at the RNC several days after that happened, Laura. I don't know if you realize that, but she didn't immediately go on vacation. Not to mention the fact that Marjorie Taylor Greene is not a medical professional. Like, what is she going to do? Was Greene supposed to run up there and be like, hold up, I can do the stitches. I got this. Don't y'all worry about it. Like, what was she going to do? Okay, there was nothing she could do. And Congress was still in session after that. By the way, they held hearings with the Secret Service. So you're lying about when she went on vacation, and you're making an apples to oranges comparison of like, he was shot and you went on vacation. She couldn't do anything anyway. Not that I'm trying to stick up for Marjorie Taylor Greene. They're both insane. And there's nothing more fun than watching two utterly insane MAGA lunatics go at each other's throats, because that is what is happening all over the Republican Party today. And this is just shining a spotlight on all of MAGA world's complete dysfunction. Hi, everyone.
Yeah, I had to go and share that with y'all because, as I said, I just thought it was. I thought that he had an amusing outlook toward the civil war going on between Marjorie Taylor Greene and Laura Loomer. So, and that's basically what I wanted to emphasize right there. So, as I said, I just think that, just watching that going on. I mean, it's like, can we have some more of that, please? Can we? I'm with Farron Cousins. So I would love to see more of that. I mean, that is just what's the term? Chef kiss. It was basically just delicious watching, just seeing, just knowing the spectacle that's happening. The fact that this is happening. And so anyway, I as I said, I wanted to share the story with you all, and because I found it amusing in a nutshell. And I figure the weekend's going to be here. There's a lot of gloom and doom that I share with everybody here most of the time. And, it's only doom and gloom if you're a MAGA watching this video. But I think that for us, and I think most of us, we hate the two-party system, and we think that the two-party choices is garbage, as it normally is. The bar gets set lower and lower and lower all the time. But I just thought that maybe with this, just a little bit of levity. And, when I found out about this, I was like, can't get enough of this. I love it. I love it. I really do. And I'm with Farron Cousins. I want to see more of this. Yeah, let there be more. Let them fight. Let them fight. Instead of all of us. I don't mean y'all in my audience, but the online left doing the little circular firing squad. It's kind of nice to see this for a change. So anyway, announcement. Monday, I'm having Shane back on the show. We're going to continue our MMT chat. We've been having a tough time, with the situation, but we think that this time there will be an appearance and all that. So looking forward to that. I will more than likely be streaming a little bit this weekend when I get time. And then I just want to let you know that the attempt is to have a normal scheduling pattern for the Willie Bragg Show, and that'll be Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8:00. And Tuesdays, Jimmy and I were doing Braglands at 5:00 Eastern Standard Time, 2:00 Pacific Standard Time. and I always mention the 2 time zones because she lives in California and I live here in North Carolina. So so it's important and all that. So anyway, let me talk to everyone here on the chat line. I have to go in a short while because I work graveyard shift. So see, I saw D here around the world with D and friends. How are you doing? I just wanted to say hello. And let's see, and Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Great seeing you here as well. And PHX Cisco, how are you doing today? And let's see what we got here. Earl, I see. Ed Heller said, "Is it? Oh, I'm sorry. It's Earl. He took a second to think about that wife comment. You talking about Farron Cousins and wanting to be married to this concept of Marjorie Taylor Greene and Laura Loomer fighting nonstop. Yeah, I thought that was really an awkward thing to say myself. So let's see what we got here. Yep, as I said, the bar can't be set any lower when it comes to the 2-party system. Why Americans keep bothering to vote for the duopoly is beyond me. Maybe it's a lot of self-abuse or something. So let's see here. It's funny for a minute, but also sad it comes off as a bootleg episode of the Jerry Springer Show. That's the nail being hit on the head with a hammer. You're absolutely correct about that. It is basically Jerry Springer material, but then consider the source, Marjorie Taylor Greene. I mean, she's been that from day one. So anyway, I shouldn't be yawning before I go to work. But I'm going to have to let y'all go right now, very soon. And just to let you know, if you like what you heard, please press like and comment. Comment any ways you disagree with what I have to say. Share the contents. Share this video and any contents I have on my channel. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it because we're, in fact, the muckrakers of our time. Also keep in mind that we're trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers. So if y'all could let your friends know about this channel, and if you're here lurking for the first time, and welcome to the Willie Bragg Show, and subscribe if you can, if you don't mind. And let me just say that we're in this together. So until next time. Free and pardon Ed Snowden, pardon Julian Assange, free Palestine, free healthcare for all, and free speech for all. We're the free speech warriors, not Marjorie Taylor Greene and not Laura Loomer like they claim they are. So anyway, y'all take care. Have a good one. Have a great weekend. See y'all soon. Bye-bye.